Good morning, welcome back to Not Another Budget. I'm Nicole, and on this channel I'm attempting to cash budget my way out of debt and fix several years of financial misbehaviour. And if that's something you're interested in following along with, please do stick around and check out the other videos on this channel. It means so much that you're here today. Thank you all for bearing with me while I wasn't here for the past 2 weeks. There was a death in the family, and it was just another knock, really, in the grand scheme of things. So I'm back with a shorter video today just to kind of ease myself back into it, and that is going to be the June budget roundup. What was spent, how much did I earn, etc, etc. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning here because I have not been sleeping, surprise surprise, and the schedule I'm not really going to overly commit to just at the minute. There's obviously lots that's going on personally behind the scenes, but it's a situation where I could quite easily take an extended break, and then before I know it, several months have passed, and undoubtedly that would have had an impact on my budgeting for sure. So thank you all for waiting, thanks for bearing with me. I am tiptoeing back in just as and when external circumstances kind of give me a time. There won't be a Savings Challenge Sunday video this coming Sunday, so those will be back after a extended break next week. And the next video that I want to try and film and get uploaded is my July budget for you guys. So that is what is happening there. So without further ado, this is June's budget. Now, if I go to the goals first, 900 in additional income. I didn't quite do that. Well, that's kind of a half line really. Sort out and tidy the conservatory. I didn't do that. Do one local tourist visit a week. I did do one local tourist visit. It wasn't quite a week. Scheduling household regularly, nope, that's not happened. And develop not another budget further, that has also not happened. The first 2 weeks of June went really well. The second 2 weeks just went to hell in a handbasket really, personally. So here's the breakdown of my income. I'd budgeted 200 for Vinted. I got 82.33. The last 2 weeks I've done nothing with Vinted. It's not been a priority at all. I did receive 525 of the £700 bursary, and that was very much a question as to whether I would receive that this month at all. And then 750 was estimated for universal credit, and I received 750 and 55 pence. Freelancing, I got 187 once all my costs have been withdrawn out of the anticipated 200, and then I received a low income grant from my local council of £461 overall as well. So that meant my total income was £2,005.88. And how did that break down? The rent was £8.50, water was £22, mobile was £28, internet £54.15. My debt minimums were £136.91, and then I was able to contribute £75 towards the gas and electric bill. My subscriptions were as followed: Microsoft and Ink £10.49, YouTube Premium £11.99, Now TV £6.99, Spotify £9.99. AA I have cancelled. I'm going to be at home really over the next 2 to 3 months, so it's something that I don't really need to cover and pay for, and then I will review my coverage in September as and when I do more travel. But if I can make that saving, I might as well. Car insurance was £56.81. Pet plan I have cancelled because he will have a fund going forward, Bowie the cat that is, and it's cheaper for me to get his prescriptions and his flea treatment and things from elsewhere now, so we're doing that. Pet insurance was £8.11. That's the last month on this price. He is now classed as a senior cat, so that has gone up, and that will be reflected in July's budget. And then my contents insurance was £6.57, which meant that my bills total came to £1,277.37, leaving me a leftover of £728.51 for the month. And how was that spent? Well, food was £200 budgeted, £218.21 spent, so a slight overage, but it's looking like the 200 is kind of roughly where I need to sit, all things considered. And that does take into account as well the fact that I was eating on the go for the past 2 weeks, so that could have been a lot worse. Fuel £61.30, same again. Cat was 53.53 against a budgeted spend of 60. Household was 14.84 against a budgeted spend of 15, so under on both of those. Medical was slightly over, 15.55, and that's a new category that I'm now having to factor in. So 12 is very much an average, so I'll see in July if 12 is realistic as well. Spending was 114.94 against 100, so not that bad, even though it was over budget. And gifts was 22.44 against a £25 budgeted spend for Father's Day. And then in terms of things that hadn't been budgeted in for, there was days out, which was 33.28, and other, which is just like miscellaneous cards and flowers and things. 16.71 was the spend for that, so it meant that my total spend was £550.80 against a £472 budgeted spend. So again, all things considered, it could have been a lot worse. If I sound really low at the minute, I am low. That's to be expected. I'm also knackered, so it's really hard for me to give you like a really high energy video. I just can't do that this time. And then in terms of my savings, I'm really pleased to see kind of how this is breaking down. So my penny savings was 34.84. I think the last video I did with you guys, I actually completed that challenge and then stuffed these categories, which was self-care into 25, clothing was 45, and then health was 10. So I was able to save £114.84, and that's left me a buffer of 62.87. I'm leaving that in my account at the minute. I'm not stuffing it, and I'm equally not rolling it over into July's budget, just because I am having to do a fair bit more driving, and there are various things for funerals and stuff that I need to pay for coming up. So that is just going to sit there and cover that, really. I don't really want to have to account for funeral clothes in a budget, I will be honest. It's just something I don't really want to write down and have to see. There's a fund sitting there for stuff like that. So overall, June could have been a lot worse, all things considered, financially. Personally, personally not great. But it's nice to see actually there is a little bit of growth, that when something emotional does come along and kind of knock you for six, that I think me a year ago would have just gone spending haywire, particularly here, and not paid some of these and things. So nice to see. I think actually getting, weirdly, a lot of my spending out of the way in the first couple of weeks of the month meant that actually I'd kind of scratched that spending itch. I mean, we all saw my Happy Mail video. I definitely bought Happy Mail. It scratched that spending itch. Getting the days out of the way meant that actually, there was a balance-ish to the month overall. But I can't really waffle on anymore, really. So I am going to see you next time. As I said, this is just a very small introductory video to tiptoe back in. And I will catch up with you all on Monday for the July budget. So I will see you then. Bye-bye for now.